Hi, caregivers. Today's topic is on anxiety. And as always, the information provided should not be used as a substitute for advice from appropriately qualified licensed practitioners of medicine, psychology, ADA, law, or financial planning. On the EDSS scale, we are looking at a level 6, which is constant assistance. So the reason I chose this topic as a caregiver, it's really easy to get caught up in the anxiety loop, which I'll discuss a little bit more later, but it's really the ability to get control over your anxiety and understand what anxiety is and why you have it and determine factors that contribute to it, whether or not it's environmental or chemical, and then just learn for ways to cope with it. So I will list the resources in the comment section below, but you want to always consult your providers for medical, your insurance services, internet, and other caregivers. So there are a lot of causes for anxiety. It could be the lack of social interaction or too much social interaction. It could be your career, work, or finances. It could be people that you care about, your kids, your spouse, your parents. It could be environmental conditions. It could be what you're eating and drinking. There's plenty of reasons why you have anxiety. So the reason why we worry is actually a good thing. It's actually more of a survival skill. That is what's known as the anxiety loop. So it keeps going over and over. So the more you worry, the more you feel that the reason that things are okay is because you were worrying. One of the ways that I found to reverse that trend is with cognitive behavioral therapy, and it's just basically reversing those thoughts, behaviors, and feelings. So instead of thinking the negative thoughts that create the anxiety and depression and sadness, and then acting accordingly, it basically changes that loop into trying to force yourself to think positive or do different behaviors and different routines so that it actually kind of reinforces to go backwards and you can relax. So again, this is a very high level overview, and if it's something that you believe will help, I encourage you to use the links below and to do a little bit more research on it. As far as the evaluation goes, you definitely want to focus on your situation and your thoughts. Realize when you have things that are unhelpful, don't dwell on them. Think about the things that are helpful. Change your behavior so that you don't make your situation worse. You always want to try to make it better. Definitely don't procrastinate on things that you know that are going to improve just because it's going to let your anxiety linger. Act the way that you want to feel. So it's one of the things, like if you imagine like waitressing, you might be having a bad day, but you want to always act happy. And that will actually, even if you're pretending, make you actually feel happier. And then let go of expectations and stop beating on walls to make doors to find happiness. So this is a really nice pictorial from Wikipedia on the cognitive behavioral therapy, and it just shows the correlation between your behaviors, your thoughts, and your feelings about your core beliefs. So there's a quote from Unknown that your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits, and your habits become your character, and your character shapes your destiny. So when you look at it that way, it makes you understand that it's important to control your thoughts. So when you look at your plan, do, check, act, you want to think about things that trigger your anxiety. And then you want to understand those triggers and how they're activated and analyze your response. Next, eliminate caffeine as much as possible and any substances that cause stress. Try to get as much sleep as possible, even if you have to schedule your sleep. You want to use cognitive behavioral therapy if you can to counteract your natural response, and then use meditation. I'll do another video on meditation. I found that to be extremely helpful. And then check after a couple weeks to evaluate if your anxiety is becoming more controlled, or if you still feel like it's not, then you probably want to contact a professional for more assistance. Continue to work on reducing your anxiety and negative emotions until you start to feel a little bit more peace and calm. So in conclusion, I just wanted to wrap up with a quote from Dr. Michelle Pierce that you don't need to be a CBT therapist to help somebody start to shift thinking. There's a ton of material out there, and I encourage you to do more research on CBT, and take care. I hope this video was useful, and please subscribe for future videos.